3,000 subscribers, you know. Let me tell you something, man. Where'd y'all come from, honestly? Where did so much of y'all come from? As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it's like 3.1 by the time I'm recording this. But honestly, how did we get here, man? I started this YouTube channel in what? 2021? Late 2021-ish? You know how long it took me just to get 1K? I think it took me over a year. I'm pretty sure it was over a year. I'd have to check. But I hit 2,000 subscribers July, I think? Or June? You mean to tell me that we're in January and we're already at 3,000? I don't know where this growth has come from. I realize that as of late, my video has been on somewhat of a run. I be hitting 1K like it's nothing. I be surpassing 2K like it's nothing. I don't know where this is coming from. But I just want to thank you all for allowing me, this young Jamaican Donny, sitting down in his empty room with nothing but his bed, his microphone, and his laptop running Adobe Audition and CapCut on his phone to bring you the niche type motorsport content I do. Well, not all of it's niche, but the goal is to be niche. But thank y'all, man. Honestly, I can't believe, if you had told me I would be in a position where videos about Alex Wirtz, or Wirtz as they said in the comments, videos about that guy are beefing 20K, I wouldn't have believed you, man. But here we are. And to celebrate 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, today I'm going to tell you the story. Well, not really a story. Today I'm going to take what is a simple overtake and make it into a spectacle. Today I'm going to tell you the story, let's just call it a story, of my favorite overtake in Formula One history. And trust me, there are so many to choose from. But today's story, and it's gonna be unscripted. I was thinking about making this a script, some kind of dramatic thing, but no. Honestly, this is gonna be one of them interesting unscripteds where I kinda tell a story, but I also put my own input into it, so it can't really be a story time with intern. It's really an unscripted. This is an unscripted. I'm talking off my head. I have no notes. We're gonna talk about Brazil 2001, the day Juan Pablo Montoya sent it on Michael Schumacher. That, to me, is my favorite overtake in Formula One history. Part of me thinks it is one of the greatest not part of me, all of me thinks it's one of the greatest overtakes in Formula One history, but it's my personal favorite. Yeah. Montoya came into the sport a year after winning the Indy 500. He had tested with Williams around 1998. And he got the call up in 2000. They announced him, I believe, the 2000 US Grand Prix. That's when it was announced that he would be replacing Jenson Button, who would be going off to Benetton. They were going to put Montoya beside Ralph in the BMW powered Williams for 2001. You got this guy who won F3000, but he never got a chance at F1 despite that. He went to America, he went to American Open Wheel, and he cooked. Montoya was that guy in IndyCar, or kart. It was kart he was in, right? Montoya was that guy. And we finally got a chance to see that guy in the American Open Wheel scene come over to Formula One to test his skills. And it was something that F1 fans had already seen in that same decade of the 90s, rather, and to varying levels of success. You had Jacques Villeneuve, who won the IndyCar championship and the Indy 500 in 1995. He makes the leap over to Williams for 96, and just a year later he's Formula One world champion. And on the flip side, you have a guy like Alex Zanardi. Zanardi didn't do that well in his first stint with F1, but he didn't really have the best equipment. He left Formula One. He went to IndyCar. He cooked. And because he cooked, they brought him into Williams for 99. And he was terrible. He didn't gel with the car well. He didn't score a single point. He wasn't classified. And he got the kick. So we have opposite ends of the spectrum as to IndyCar guys coming over to F1 with varying levels of success. And Juan Pablo Montoya was coming in. And people were going to see, is he going to be a Villeneuve? Or is he going to be a Zanardi? And that day was the day he proved he was going to be a Villeneuve. The safety car comes out lap 1 of the 2001 Brazilian Grand Prix. And because of this, the field's bunched up in a queue. A line, basically. For those who don't know what a queue means. So, safety car pulls off. And Montoya, and to his credit, he has the absolute behemoth BMW engine underneath him. So it's not too surprising he was able to do this. But he gets the run of all runs. No DRS. Yeah? No DRS like we do today. Granted, you wouldn't get DRS on a safety car restart, but we keep going. Montoya gets the run of all runs, man. And he sends it into turn 1. And forget this rule that we have now, but if you're ahead at the apex, it's your corner. Montoya was not ahead at the apex, and he made it his corner. What the hell? He made it his corner. Bro bullied Michael Schumacher. Shoved him aside. Didn't push him off the track. But he ran him up the road. He made sure he was alongside at the apex of the corner, and he used the inside lane and ran Michael out of room and took the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix in just his 3rd Formula 1 start. I just want y'all to put that into context, man. Can you imagine today the only person I could see probably doing this is a guy like Antonelli. Can you imagine if Antonelli did a blasted send on Verstappen? 3 races, 2 races, his first race into his F1 career. The guy that's been dominating the sport. Michael Schumacher had 3 championships when Montoya did that. He was the defending Formula 1 world champion. And Juan Pablo Montoya, this guy from America, not literally, but in the context of his racing career, his recent racing career at least. This American Donny, he's Colombian actually, but again, follow what I'm saying. This guy from IndyCar, the first chance he smells blood of the world champion of the sport he's just come into, he sends it. He doesn't even look back. Doesn't give him an inch of space to breathe. Ran him perfectly up the road. Not enough to push him off the track, but enough to make Schumacher claustrophobic enough to relinquish the lead. And don't think this was just some random overtake. Oh no, Montoya didn't just pass him and then end up losing the lead later. Oh no, he sailed off into the distance. Montoya sailed off into the distance. He didn't look back. He was on course to win this Grand Prix. But unfortunately, we don't get good things in Formula 1 without sufferation first. And this race was no different. Montoya was leading the race comfortably. Jos Verstappen, who was being lapped, made a mistake behind him, went straight into his rear, took himself and Montoya out of the Grand Prix. And yes, Montoya didn't have the nicest rookie season, mainly because of 2 things: his inexperience, coupled with the fact that the BMW engine, though very good, was very unreliable, meaning he retired from a lot of races. Montoya didn't get that first win until Monza that same year, but he got that first win. And from there, he would go on to win, I think, 6 more Grand Prix. I think he won 7 Grand Prix in his career. But you want to know what really makes me love this move? Aside from everything I just said. Not to be the one, I'm going to make this woke. I'm going to actually think way deeper into this than people ever thought. When I engage in discourse online with Formula 1 fans, and I'm talking about the elitists, not the motorsport fans that also watch F1. I'm talking about the F1 fans that don't watch motorsport. When IndyCar is brought up, you want to see an elitist in their natural habitat? Just look at a Formula 1 fan when IndyCar is brought up. And I have a good amount of friends that fall into this category. I'm even in group chats with them. There was a point in time where we were having this argument every other day. But there are a lot of Formula 1 fans out there that think no one in IndyCar is worthy of reaching the pinnacle of Formula 1. And notice I said reaching the pinnacle of Formula 1. There are people out there that think, yeah, if this guy joined Formula 1, he'd probably be better than like the back markers, but he wouldn't be a world champion, right? And it's been a debate for the test of time. Schumacher himself, there's a 60 minutes episode. I think I'll put the clip in of him basically saying that IndyCar and the Indy 500 second class citizen type stuff to him, man. Not the pinnacle. He didn't see the Indy 500 as any big spectacle. He saw it as a demolition derby where you could get hurt. And he said, listen, man, them IndyCar guys that keep coming into my sport trying to make a name for themselves, most of them flop. So in one fell swoop, Schumacher destroyed the credibility of IndyCar. He said, listen, man, that's F2 to me, bro. I'm not gonna do that stuff. I'm not trying to get hurt driving in circles, right?
But you're not challenged by the Indy 500.
No. That's, first of all, it's a step down from Formula One, and second, it's too dangerous.
Too dangerous?
Yeah.
Michael Schumacher says, I don't want to go there, it's too dangerous.
The speed you do, that close to the walls, if you have an accident, there is no way a chassis can survive a certain way of having a crash, and that means your leg's going to be heavily damaged or even further, and I don't see any point in that. I have nothing to prove there. I don't see a challenge in it.
The fact that others have done it doesn't make it any more challenging for you?
No, because usually the people who cannot survive in Formula One, they go to Indy. People who coming from Indy hardly survive in Formula One.
And this is a very real opinion that some F1 elitist fans have. They don't see IndyCar as anything close to Formula One. They don't see it as a place where a driver could be as talented as some of the best in Formula One. They see it as second best in the open wheel. Some of them probably even put it under super formula. They do not see the value in IndyCar. They don't think the drivers are talented, or rather as talented as F1 drivers. And it hurts me, obviously. I'm a guy that thinks that you give a guy like O'Ward, Palou, Herta a chance in Formula One, they could very well squabble with the best of them. I personally think that. That's one of the main reasons I want Colton Herta in Formula One, because I think he has that potential. And it seems as though Cadillac will be his gateway into it, assuming they sign him for 2026. 2026. Assuming they sign him for 2026 and assuming he has enough super license points to join the sport. I want to see it happen, because I just want a Herta, a Palou, an O'Ward to come into the sport and lay waste to this poisonous narrative. And when I think about this narrative and the way people talk about IndyCar drivers, I just look back at this pass and it just fills me with so much joy. Seeing an IndyCar guy come into Formula One and do the world champion the way Montoya did, without fear. It was a move so good, Schumacher himself said, "Fairs, he got me, man. I can't be mad." That's the kind of stuff I love, man. 3 Grand Prix into his career. The first chance he had to show the world champion what he was made of, he did it. This is different from Villeneuve coming to Williams on his debut and, almost winning the Australian Grand Prix, right? Because even while he was doing that, Schumacher, who was the defending champion, was in the 96 Ferrari, and it just wasn't good enough to fight for the championship. And yes, the two of them had a title fight the next season that Villeneuve came out on top in. This to me is it's just so much more of a statement, man. It's just so much more of a statement, because the argument is in 97, Schumacher's Ferrari shouldn't have even been in title contention at all. Villeneuve should have wiped it, But with Montoya doing that to Schumacher the way he did it, it's not even the fact that it was just a pass. It's the aggression of the pass. The way he bullied him as if he was just another guy. You almost want to call it a lack of respect, but it wasn't a lack of respect, because a lack of respect would have been pushing him off the track, and Montoya didn't do that. Montoya roughed him up as much as you could rough up somebody without getting a penalty. And every time I think about this pass, man, it's so great, bro. It's so great. It is my favorite overtake in Formula 1 history. Forget anything that happened after it. I know Montoya ended up not winning a Formula 1 World Championship, but he proved that he was capable of contending for one in 2003. He had a very rough end to 2003, and had it gone differently, he'd have been right there all the way down to the wire in that 2003 BMW Williams. He proved that he was a guy capable of fighting for the Formula 1 World Championship, even if he ended up not winning one. And though his F1 career didn't last as long as it would, Juan Pablo Montoya, one of the greatest racing drivers of all time, it's not even up for debate. 2 Indy 500s, he's an IMSA champion, he's won 7 Formula 1 Grand Prix, he won in NASCAR. There ain't nothing you put Juan Pablo Montoya in that he doesn't succeed in. He won F3000, kart champion, almost won the IndyCar championship in 2015, almost 15 plus years after he won the kart title in 19. Like, come on, man. Stop playing with Montoya. Montoya, one of the greatest to ever strap himself into a race car, man. I think I can end it here. I don't even know how long I've been speaking. Over 15 minutes. And it doesn't feel like 15 minutes, I'll be real with you. But yeah, I think this is a perfect place to end it. This is my 3,000 subscribers special, yeah? It's me yapping about my favorite overtake in F1 history. Brazil 2001, Montoya getting Schumacher on that safety car restart. Thank y'all so much for 3,000 subscribers. I don't know what to say. I was gonna say some deep I already said that at the beginning, but I just can't believe it, honestly. Thank you all for tuning in, as you always do. Thank you all for showing the support, whether it be in the comments, whether it be sharing my video, whether it be supporting me on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to call it. All of it means the world to me, guys. It really does. Never thought I would see these heights. Some other content creators see 3,000 subscribers as not heights because they're in the hundreds of thousands. But it's just so cool to know that despite what is on face value not that big a following, there's so many people within this space that know me, that show love to me, that follow me, that tell me I'm doing good work. It's just the best feeling in the world, man. And I'm so grateful that I took a chance on myself to make these videos. And I'm grateful I'm at a point where I feel like my hard work is finally starting to pay off. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's Intern out. That's another Unscripted. See you in the next one.